started, I guess, when I was in college. I had finished all of my required courses in the first 2 years. And what was I going to do then? Well, the Fogg Museum was where I went, and I took all of the courses that the Fogg had to offer me in art and the development of architecture, sculpture, painting, printmaking. That was a new world for me. The course was aided by 8x5 pictures of the things the professors were talking about. And there were 1,500 of them. And I still have those, and I still look at them. After I got my master's degree, I went to New York, and there was Sam Hughes. He was very knowledgeable about art and got me thinking about it. I started picking up things that I liked. Over my fireplace is a huge painting called Seven Suns, which I bought in 1973. Then I bought a few other things which were not so successful. I turned to myself and said, look, if you're going to do this, you've got to do it with a purpose. You have to not just go around buying anything you see. You have to have boundaries. And my boundaries became prints, American and European, which dated from 1965 on. Two words. One is patience, and the other one is work. This does not evolve without your working to make it evolve. The critical eye, you don't have it initially. The eye learns from experience, and it takes time. And not everybody can do it, I don't think. They may not have the patience, they may not have the inspiration to do it. But if you really want to see evolution, visual evolution, and you practice it yourself, it can develop. By studying the subject matter to the fullest extent that you can, going to museums and looking mainly at the areas that you have chosen to have a special interest in, going slowly through the material, thinking about it, and going out and seeing whatever new you can find. The one thing that should not be an objective is investment. If you think you're going to make money on it, it's not in your heart, and you will not end up with a collection that you either like or that you can get rid of. So there are plenty of reasons to have a collection, but to think of it as an investment is a great mistake. It's kind of like a disease. Once you have it, you're stuck with it, and it doesn't go away. And that's just fine for me. I enjoy it. A silent revolution occurred in 1913. It was the development of an art which was not representational, but which nevertheless was beautiful. Non-representational is a bit elusive. What they do not have in them is faces or places or items that are recognizable. They create an inner harmony. And the man who started this was a guy by the name of Malevich. I have one Malevich that I'm looking at right now. It's one of the few in the United States. I'm looking straight ahead at a work by Frank Lobdell. It is one of my favorite pieces of art. Everybody else could probably go right by it and not see it. And I did, of course, the first time I saw it. And the point of that is that art is not stagnant. It grows and grows and grows. And there will be new trends, some of which will be successful, and some will not be. And I have no idea what those trends will be. But it's exciting to wait around and see what does evolve. Certainly I've evolved in the last 20 years and plan to continue to evolve in the future. I'm not quitting by a long shot because it's fun. It's instructive. It requires study. You have to develop an appreciation. It doesn't come naturally, but it's been consistent, and I'm very happy with the things which are around me, with which I live, and no idea what I'll get next. But I'll find something. My friend Sam Hughes was an interior designer in New York, and he had a clientele that nobody would believe. One of his major clients was Therese McLean. Sam and Therese had a goal, which was to collect Mary Cassatt pictures. It evolved that through a little urging on Sam's part, she gave those to the museum here in Wilmington. And that started a pattern which has resulted in a growing museum with very, very high standards. Ren Brown was certainly interested in building St. John's. He made some very major steps in that direction. He, of course, knew Mrs. Cameron, who was a great friend of Sam's, and I was also a friend of hers. She was a great influence on the early days of the museum. And the present housing, which is named after her, is really the result of people like the Camerons and Sam and Ren having a purpose together and creating what you see today. There should be an enduring, long-term commitment for growth of things artistic. And that's the real function of a museum. You now have a building which is fabulous. It displays art beautifully, but I hope to see the day when you've got your own art collection that you can put up on the walls and take down and switch around. The nice thing about it is, if you can do that, the children can grow up surrounded by art. And that will help them think about art as they grow older. And that's what a museum is all about.